Welcome into Tips for Gamers. Today we're going to be breaking down the best archetypes and traits for quarterbacks in Madden 23. So first thing is first, if you're in a user league, you want to get the guy with the fastest wheels. All right, you want to get a guy who's a burner, who gives you that ability to escape the pocket, get out, get a first down. You want to be a three-prong attack to where it's just really nasty and hard to stop your guys' offense, right? So I would go for more of the scrambler with the improviser, one of the two. If you get an improviser, fine. But I would want to get the guy with the fastest wheels possible and then work on a strong arm and then touch base on the field general as much as I would want to do. Okay, because you don't want to worry. As a user, you want to get a guy who is not very good. Okay, and you want to work on that because of the fact that awareness means nothing to you. It means absolutely nothing to you as a user. It's either you have awareness or you don't. If you're in simulation, you want to make things as easy on yourself as possible because the ball is out of your hands, no pun intended, with what you are able to do. So improviser is a good start. Even if you have a scrambler, that's fine. Work on the improviser right out of the gate. Don't work on scrambler. Because it's just not something you're going to want to do. You're going to work on more of that improviser. You want to get your guy to escape, get out of the way, and go for a first down. However, the only issue with improviser, okay, and there is a big issue with improviser over time. When your team gets to a level to where they're very good, you don't want your quarterback to constantly escape out of the pocket for no reason at all because he's just like, oh, I got to escape, and that's the default. And he starts to run out of the pocket when he could throw a 50-yard bomb and score. Okay, so improviser's fine at first, but you want to start working on that strong arm, okay, once your team is good enough. Because when your team's really good and he has that strong arm, then he's going to be looking deep and going, hey, is this guy open? Hey, is this guy open? Is that guy open? And you know your offensive linemen are good enough to hold their blocks. Okay, so you're going to want to pick and start to upgrade when your team is ready for it. All right, so that's something that you should take into consideration. Now, if you don't have an option, and sometimes you just don't, you can have all the best strategy in the world, but if you just don't have the option, oh well, nothing you can do about it. Start to work on and say, hey, all right, my guy is not an improviser really. He's slow in speed. Well, I'm not going to work on improviser then. I'm going to work on him being the best strong arm quarterback in the world. And I'm just going to deal with the headache at that moment in time. And he's getting sacked because he's doing something stupid or what have you. But that's what I'm going to go for more instead of, trying to just compress someone who can't do it into being something that they'll never be. Now, for the best traits with user and simulation, it's going to be more lean towards user or towards simulation. We'll talk about user, but apparently you need to have cankles because, dear Lord, if you cover above his knees and the rest of his body, that looks like a defensive lineman. I mean, dude, those are some thick bones you got going on there, bro. I mean, dear Lord, it just doesn't look right. There's no way Joe Burrow is that huge on his ankles. Anyways, for the penalty, this doesn't matter. I mean, it just doesn't matter. It's even if you're a user or a simulator, you're simulating, it just doesn't matter enough. Throw the ball away. If you're a user, this is pointless because you either did it or you didn't do it. If you're in simulation, you want it to be no, okay? Because you can have conflicting problems here. You could have a really good improviser, a really good strong arm, what have you, and the guy could be running out of the pocket, right? And then he could just throw the ball away when he could have gotten a first down or looked down the field and saw the open guy and just threw the ball. So you don't want his first reaction to, I'm going to throw the ball out. Dude, no. I don't want that. I don't care if it's Peyton Manning or what have you. I don't want it. If you're maybe like a 50 speed, maybe think about it, but still, I don't know. No, I'm not going to go for throw the ball away. The sense of pressure ideal is what I like. I like this. It's ideal. This one's my favorite. If it's average, that's fine. Oblivious, I'd still try to work on it because you still have the ability, if you get him really good, he could just be like, I don't really care if a guy's there because he's oblivious and he's going to throw it. The problem that I have is paranoid. Paranoid is something I don't like because the guy can start to backtrack. Okay, he can start to run backwards and be like, oh, I'm paranoid. He starts to run backwards as a default, and he's not looking downfield. As you're running backwards for no apparent reason, you're not looking downfield. Now, for the trigger-happy sense of pressure, I don't want that. Just don't want it. I don't want to put my quarterback in that situation to where he feels like he has to do that. And then for the forces passes, I want aggressive. Okay, I don't want conservative. Ideal would be something I would try to work on, but I want aggressive. You know, the best quarterbacks are the guys that are like, I put it right in that small little spot. My accuracy is really good, so that's why I did it. That's really what you want. So aggressive is something that I'm going to go for. Okay, fights for extra yards. Yes, this is good for simulation. This is good for user. There's things that are out of your control. Animations and what your player does when he gets hit is out of your control. You're pushing a button. You're hoping to God that it works. If you're watching it, it's out of your control. You want him to fight for extra yards. He either has it or he doesn't. Okay, so some of these, just useless high motor. If you get that, it's an added bonus. Predictability, I would like that. It's for contracts. QB play style. You know, on this one here, this is more out of your hands. I wish you could change this over time, but balanced is going to be something that I love. These other ones, yeah, you can, you know, if you have one, so what? You can change. He's going to react more based upon his trait, or not his trait, but more based upon his archetype than he is his trait. Okay, so that's what you're going to want to see. Now, there are some that you don't see up here. Okay, and some of the ones that you don't see up here are like the tight spiral. You don't see tight spiral. So he has a tight spiral. I like that. But I don't care if he doesn't have it. It's an added bonus if he has it. If he doesn't, I'm not going to cry home, you know, write to my mother and go, oh, my Lord. Oh, dear Lord. Tears on the paper. That's not happening. Because Peyton Manning threw like 1 million wobbly pass touchdowns. And so if he can do it, another guy can do it. And you'll be good. Just work on him, make sure he's the best quarterback ever. If he doesn't have a tight spiral, these wide receivers need to catch the ball, regardless if it's wobbly or not. So there you go.